What is something that happens to all of us but no one ever talks about it? Tripping on the sidewalk and hoping no one noticed, lol. I once tripped while crossing the road on Oxford Street, London. And it wasn't like I just fell over, no. I kept on tripping, all the way across the road. Cabs saw me. Buses saw me. Hundreds of people who I probably didn't see saw me. But God, I saw so many laughing faces. It didn't help that my friends were all bent at the waist howling with laughter. Oh, the shame. Weird unexplained heart flutters or chest pains that make you ask yourself, is this what a heart attack feels like? I just think to myself, well, this is it. It's been a hell of a ride, y'all. Constantly reliving and regretting an awkward interaction with a stranger you never saw again. And now you went and reminded me of one. My daughter was born and I was going to the hospital to visit. I show the security guard my pass for the maternity ward. He says congrats to me. I say, oh, my child was already born, referring to my 2-year-old son for some reason. The gentleman says, oh, awkwardly. Why couldn't I just say thanks and keep it moving? Idiot. Intrusive thoughts. Them bastards really be annoying. Yes. As a clinician, it is wild how many people come in and are so ashamed and genuinely think they are awful, horrible people for having intrusive thoughts. It's so upsetting for them. Definitely needs to be discussed more. Getting that occasional snot out of your nose that's so big it feels like it's taking a part of your brain out with it. Once I was sick. The flu. I sneezed and felt the phlegm in my tongue. I grabbed a tissue and cleaned my tongue, but I felt like I was pulling something. I kept at it and I just felt how the mucus was leaving my sinuses. Like it was so thick that I just pulled it like a thread. It felt so weird because I kept pulling this long thing until it was all out. My sinuses never felt more clean. That moment when it truly hits home that you're not young anymore and there's nothing you can do to stop the decline. Oof, please stop. I am 47 and this has been causing me much stress of late. Life is flying by too quickly. My kids are growing too quickly. The whole thing feels like the blink of an eye. For women, body hair outside the legs, pits, and pubic area. Pretty much every woman has a few beardy hairs on her chin that she plucks. The majority of women also shave their toes/tops of feet. A large number get a little tuft of pubic-esque hair just under the belly button. I know of a few who get a few wiry hairs around their nipples that they shave or pluck. This is 100% normal and happens to pretty much everyone, and nobody warns you so when you're a teenage girl, and, if you're lucky, health class has warned you to expect leg, armpit, and pubic hair. It then comes as a complete shock when all the other hair starts coming and you feel like a horrible, disgusting freak. This shit needs talking about, just enough to normalize it so not every 17-year-old girl sobs in the bathroom while plucking a hair off her chin because she's convinced she's the only girl in the world with this problem. Definitely getting old. I'm 53 and it's starting to show in my face and neck, lol, but when I look in the mirror I don't recognize myself because in my mind I'm still in my 30s. It also makes me realize that my 74-year-old mother probably feels the same way. I'm 71 and she does. When your finger breaks through the toilet paper when wiping and you get poop on it. Then you spend the whole day feeling like your finger is radioactive despite scrubbing it madly with soap for 10 minutes immediately after it happened. Radioactive is quite possibly the best adjective you could have put into that sentence. Our parents dying. I went through it at a young age and most of my peers looked at me like I was an alien. Like, bro, this is gonna be you one day, lol. Happened to me a year and a bit ago with my dad, lung cancer. You know it's coming at some point in your future, but I didn't think it would be before I even turned 30. He was 71, RIP. My mom passed a few years ago at 65 just after I turned 29. I remember crying on my 30th birthday because she wasn't there and remembering how the year before, when my brother turned 30, she got him special balloons and a heartfelt card. Just made it something special. She loved doing that stuff. 32 now and still miss her on my birthday as well as every other day. Offering to share an unusual odor with your partner. Hey, this milk smells terrible. Have a sniff. Sores, razor cuts, pimples/boils or ingrown hairs in your groin/underwear area. I wish I could upvote this more. I've had to have surgeries for boils twice. I kept one of the longest ingrown pubic hairs I've ever had. It was the most painful, unpoppable pimple for months. One day I saw a black point and went in with a needle and pulled out a hair that was as long as half my index finger. Picking your nose. Skin tags. I'm 50, and there are so many skin tags around my armpits. It's gross and they suck. Hemorrhoids. The fact that nobody responded to this makes it the winner, I think. I have hemorrhoids. When you want to know what time it is, so you look at your watch or phone, but when you put it down you realize you didn't actually synthesize the information, so you have to look again. But then 10 seconds later you realize you still don't know the time, so you have to look again. Then maybe a minute later someone asks you what time it is, and you realize you actually have to look at your phone a fourth time. This is me checking my cards at poker or looking for snacks in the fridge. How y'all forgot breathing? Great, now you just reminded me, and if I don't think about it I'll suffocate. We've all trusted a fart when we shouldn't have. Disappointments that we chalk up to bad luck or the unfairness of the world, but, deep down, we know we did it to ourselves. Felt this in my soul. When you finish pooping but no matter how much you wipe there's still some there. I call it the crayon poop. It's like I'm wiping a marker or something. Andy Dwyer. Questioning what the point of our life is, i.e. meaninglessness, this can be very daunting and hard to talk about if we feel others in our lives have it all figured out. An odd, but nostalgic smell, or phantom smell, which comes on for about 2 seconds, reminding you of a vivid childhood memory, and then vanishes. Honestly, a very high percentage of women have suffered a kind of sex abuse. In my case, I was groomed by someone within my nuclear family. It is something that happens every day, and that during COVID pandemic it got even higher. In recent years I have been astounded by the number of women saying they have been sexually abused. This is a subject that requires discussion. In particular, young people need to be educated on appropriate sexual behavior. Those pains that pop up in the most random places and last for 2 to 5 seconds. Mostly for my people who bleed, but like when you have to pee and then you put your underwear back on and your damp cold discharge touches you, it's like so icky, but I know I'm not the only one to experience this. Following this, the fact that vaginas can bleach underwear. Never learned that fact until I was in college and had to look up why my underwear was not the same color inside. I thought maybe something was wrong. Nope. Vaginas just freaking hate everything. Which, follow up, when on your period and you get the blood clots. The large terrible blood clots. This is the realest thing ever. I've never had any black underwear that has survived my acidic environment. But that means I'm healthy, so I don't mind, smiley face. When you respond to enjoy your meal by saying you too. One time I had a waiter respond, thanks, I will, so at least it was double-sided. That's him trying to save the situation. Good for him. Thinking of a clever comeback after an argument. Then preparing that comeback for the next time, which never comes. I don't know about all of us, but I'm willing to bet greater than 50% of guys have had a sort of gayish boyhood experience with another boy they would never speak about, assuming they turned out to be straight later on. I believe this is somewhat common and harmless as you come of age. Getting up every day. Going through the motions of life. Never really feeling happy or feeling like there's anything to look forward to. Peeing yo pants. You used the dream toilet, didn't you? SSSSHH. Farts.